The skies above the Pacific are about to change forever. Just 3 months ago, on March 21, 2025, President Donald Trump walked into the Oval Office and made an announcement that sent shockwaves through military circles worldwide. Boeing had just won the most important defense contract of the century, the development of America's first sixth-generation fighter jet, the F-47. This isn't just another aircraft upgrade. This is the weapon that will decide who controls the skies for the next 50 years. Welcome to Jet Insight. Right now, as you're watching this video, Chinese sixth-generation prototypes are flying test missions over the South China Sea. Russia is pouring billions into their next-generation interceptor program. The race for air superiority has never been more critical, and the stakes have never been higher. The aging F-22 Raptor, once the undisputed king of the skies, is about to pass the torch to something extraordinary. A fighter jet so advanced that President Trump himself said it massively overpowers the capabilities of any other nation.
Massively overpowers the capabilities of any other nation.
But here's what most people don't know. This fighter has been secretly flying for almost 5 years.
An experimental version of the plane has secretly been flying for almost 5 years.
The technology inside this machine represents the biggest leap in aviation since the introduction of stealth itself. And today, we're going to reveal everything we know about the F-47, the fighter that will secure American air dominance for decades to come. The Great Fighter Evolution. To understand why the F-47 is so revolutionary, we need to look at where we've been. The F-22 Raptor entered service in December 2005, and for nearly 2 decades, it has been the world's most capable air superiority fighter. With its combination of stealth, supercruise capability, and integrated avionics, the F-22 could identify, track, and eliminate threats before being detected. But here's the problem that keeps Pentagon officials awake at night. In 2009, then Defense Secretary Robert Gates made a decision that would haunt America's air power for years to come. He cut the F-22 production from the planned 750 aircraft to just 187. Today, with aircraft rotating through maintenance, upgrades, and training duties, the Air Force has roughly 180 operational F-22s to cover the entire globe. Meanwhile, China has been busy. Their long-range air defense systems have grown exponentially more sophisticated. Their electronic warfare capabilities now pose serious threats to even our most advanced fighters. And in December 2024, they revealed not one, but 2 sixth-generation fighter prototypes conducting flight tests. The writing was on the wall. America needed something bigger, faster, and more capable than anything that came before. If you're as excited about America's military superiority as we are, type "proud" in the comments below and let us know what you think about this game-changing development. The birth of next-generation air dominance. The story of the F-47 begins in 2014 when Frank Kendall, then Undersecretary of Defense for Acquisition, Technology, and Logistics, commissioned a Defense Science Board study on maintaining air dominance through 2035. The findings were sobering. Traditional air superiority over an entire battle space was no longer affordable in an anti-access, area denial environment. This led to the creation of the Next Generation Air Dominance Program, or NGAD. But this wasn't going to be just another fighter jet. The Air Force was thinking bigger, a family of systems that would revolutionize how America fights in the air. In 2016, the Air Force released its Air Superiority 2030 flight plan, calling for what they initially termed the Penetrating Counter-Air Aircraft. This wasn't going to be your grandfather's dogfighter. This was going to be a long-range, heavily armed, sensor-rich aircraft designed to penetrate deep into enemy territory and establish air superiority from within. The program took an unprecedented approach. Instead of the traditional method of developing one aircraft for 30 years, NGAD was designed around what they called the Digital Century Series concept. The idea was revolutionary: design and build new fighters every 8 years, replacing them every 16 years. No more service life extensions, no more midlife updates, just continuous innovation. By 2018, the program had evolved into what we now know as NGAD. The Air Force invested heavily in digital engineering, advanced manufacturing, and what they called the Digital Trinity: agile software development, open architecture systems, and digital engineering tools that could reduce development time and costs by 20%. But the real breakthrough came in September 2020, when the Air Force quietly announced that a full-scale flight demonstrator had successfully flown. They didn't reveal much, but industry insiders knew something big was happening. The pause that almost killed the program. Fast forward to May 2024, and the NGAD program hit a major roadblock. Air Force Secretary Frank Kendall made an announcement that sent shockwaves through the defense industry. The program was being paused. The reason? Cost. Early estimates suggested each F-47 could cost as much as $300 million, 3 times the price of an F-35. Kendall was facing an impossible choice. The Air Force budget was already stretched thin with nuclear modernization, the B-21 Raider program, and dozens of other priorities. Could they afford a fighter jet that costs more than some countries' entire defense budgets? The pause wasn't just about money, though. It was about strategy. China's rapid military modernization had changed the game. Their ability to target American air bases with hundreds of missiles made traditional air operations extremely risky. What good would the most advanced fighter in the world be if it couldn't get off the ground? For months, the future of American air superiority hung in the balance. Industry experts wondered if the age of manned fighters was coming to an end. Some suggested that unmanned systems and long-range missiles might be more cost-effective solutions. But deep inside the Pentagon, a comprehensive study was underway. Air Force leaders were examining every possible alternative, from enhanced drone swarms to modified bombers to completely reimagined air warfare concepts. They tested dozens of scenarios, ran countless simulations, and analyzed every possible path forward. The conclusion was unanimous, as Major General Joseph Kunkel would later reveal at the Air Force Association Warfare Symposium in March 2025. They tried every option they could think of, and there was simply no viable alternative to NGAD for achieving air superiority in a highly contested environment. The competition that shaped the future. While the program was paused, the competition between Boeing and Lockheed Martin continued behind closed doors. Northrop Grumman had dropped out in July 2023, leaving these two aerospace giants to battle for what many considered the most important defense contract of the century. Unlike the public Joint Strike Fighter competition that gave us the F-35, the NGAD competition was shrouded in secrecy. Both companies had been working on their design since 2014, pouring billions of dollars into research and development. For Boeing, this wasn't just about winning a contract. It was about survival in the fighter business. Boeing's defense division had been struggling with cost overruns on programs like the KC-46 tanker and the new Air Force One aircraft. Their FA-18 Super Hornet production line was scheduled to close in 2027, and the F-15EX had limited production numbers. Without NGAD, Boeing risked losing its position as a major fighter manufacturer. Lockheed Martin, on the other hand, had the F-35 program providing steady revenue for decades to come. But they also had the experience and expertise from developing both the F-22 and F-35. Many industry experts assumed Lockheed was the favorite. Both companies submitted their final proposals in 2024, with designs that represented years of advanced research and testing. Industry sources described the proposals as extremely close technically, with both offering revolutionary capabilities that would define air warfare for the next generation. The selection was originally planned for late 2024, but the incoming Trump administration decided to make the final call. And on March 21, 2025, that call was made. The historic announcement. Picture the scene in the Oval Office on March 21, 2025. President Trump, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, Air Force Chief of Staff General David Alvin, and Lieutenant General Dale White gathered for what would become one of the most significant defense announcements in recent history. Trump's words were characteristically bold.
The F-47 will be the most advanced, most capable, most lethal aircraft ever built. An experimental version of the plane has secretly been flying for almost 5 years, and we're confident that it massively overpowers the capabilities of any other nation.
The designation F-47 wasn't chosen randomly. While some suggested it referenced Trump being the 47th president, it actually honors the legendary P-47 Thunderbolt from World War II, one of the most successful fighters in American history. General Alvin's statement was equally compelling. Despite what our adversaries claim, the The F-47 is truly the world's first crewed sixth-generation fighter, built to dominate the most capable peer adversary and operate in the most perilous threat environments imaginable. The announcement came with the revelation that experimental versions of the F-47 had been flying for 5 years, accumulating hundreds of flight hours and proving technologies that seemed impossible just a decade ago. These weren't just technology demonstrators. They were full-scale prototypes proving that America's most advanced aviation concepts actually worked. Boeing's victory represented more than just a business win. It was validation of their approach to sixth-generation fighter design, their investment in digital engineering, and their commitment to delivering affordable, producible, advanced aircraft. Revolutionary capabilities. So what makes the F-47 so special? Let's start with the numbers that have been officially released. The F-47 will have a combat radius of more than 1,000 nautical miles. That's roughly double the combat radius of an F-22. This isn't just an incremental improvement, it's a fundamental change in how air power can be projected. The aircraft will fly faster than Mach 2, but unlike previous fighters, it's designed for sustained high-speed flight deep into enemy territory. The stealth technology goes beyond anything currently flying. While the F-35 is classified as having basic stealth capabilities and the F-22 rates as Stealth Plus, the F-47 is designated as Stealth Plus, a level of low observability that makes it virtually invisible to current and projected radar systems. But stealth is just the beginning. The F-47 is designed around what the Air Force calls broadband stealth, effective against radar, infrared, and even visual detection across all aspects of the aircraft. Traditional fighters might be stealthy from the front, but vulnerable from the side or rear. The F-47 is designed to be virtually undetectable from any angle. The aircraft's size allows for massive internal fuel capacity and weapons bay volume. Early reports suggest the F-47 can carry significantly more ordnance internally than the F-22 while maintaining its stealth profile. This combination of range and payload means a single F-47 can accomplish missions that would previously require multiple aircraft and aerial refueling. Perhaps most importantly, the F-47 is designed from the ground up to operate with unmanned wingmen. The Collaborative Combat Aircraft Program is developing drone companions that will fly alongside the F-47, extending its sensor range, providing additional firepower, and serving as decoys or electronic warfare platforms. The system of systems approach. This brings us to one of the most revolutionary aspects of the F-47. It's not just a fighter, it's the quarterback of an entire air warfare system. The aircraft is designed to control and coordinate with multiple collaborative combat aircraft, or CCAs. General Atomics is developing the RFQ-42A, while Anduril is creating the RFQ-44A. These aren't simple drones. They're sophisticated, unmanned fighters capable of operating semi-autonomously while remaining under human control. The F-47 pilot can deploy these drones for reconnaissance, electronic warfare, or strike missions while remaining safely outside enemy engagement ranges. The F-47 will also be powered by next-generation adaptive engines developed under the Next Generation Adaptive Propulsion Program. Both General Electric and Pratt & Whitney are developing engines that can adjust their bypass ratios in flight, optimizing for either fuel efficiency during cruise or maximum thrust during combat. This technology promises significant improvements in both range and performance. The aircraft's avionics represent another generational leap. Advanced artificial intelligence will assist the pilot in managing multiple simultaneous engagements, coordinating with drone wingmen, and processing vast amounts of sensor data in real time. The pilot won't just be flying a fighter, they'll be commanding a miniature air force. Budget and production realities. Now let's talk about the financial reality of this program. The initial engineering and manufacturing development contract awarded to Boeing is worth approximately $20 billion. That's just the beginning. The total program cost over its lifetime is expected to reach hundreds of billions of dollars. The Air Force has indicated they plan to purchase 185 plus F-47s, roughly matching the current F-22 fleet size. Each aircraft is expected to cost significantly less than the original $300 million estimates that nearly killed the program. General Alvin has stated that the F-47 will cost less than the F-22, which has a unit cost of around $143 million. The program is currently budgeted for $19.6 billion over the next 5 years. making it the Air Force's most expensive research and development program. But consider this investment in context. China is pouring unlimited resources into their sixth-generation fighter programs, and Russia continues developing their next-generation interceptor despite economic sanctions. The F-47 is expected to enter service sometime between 2025 and 2029, with initial operational capability likely in the late 2020s. This timeline is remarkably aggressive for such an advanced aircraft, made possible by the extensive prototype testing that has been ongoing since 2020. For our military veterans and defense enthusiasts watching today, we'd love to have you join our community of service members and military experts. Drop a comment below and let us know about your military background. We're building a network of people who truly understand the importance of maintaining America's military edge. Global implications and competition. The F-47's development comes at a critical time in global military competition. China's unveiling of two sixth-generation prototypes in December 2024 marked a new phase in the great power competition for air superiority. These aircraft, developed in secrecy over several years, represent China's attempt to challenge American air dominance in the Pacific. Russia's PAC-DP program, despite economic constraints, continues developing what they claim will be a sixth-generation interceptor to replace the MiG-31. European nations are also exploring sixth-generation concepts, with Sweden recently awarding Saab a contract to study the feasibility of developing a Gripen successor. But the F-47 represents more than just American technological superiority. It's a statement of strategic intent. President Trump mentioned that allied nations are constantly calling to purchase the aircraft, suggesting that export versions might be available. This would mark a significant departure from the F-22, which has never been approved for foreign sale due to its sensitive technologies. The aircraft's long range and advanced capabilities make it ideally suited for operations in the Pacific theater, where the distances involved often exceed the capabilities of current fighters. The so-called tyranny of distance that has limited American air power projection in the Pacific could finally be overcome. The F-47's introduction will also reshape alliance structures and defense partnerships. Nations operating F-35s will likely be first in line for F-47 variants, creating an integrated air defense network spanning multiple continents. The future of air warfare. The F-47 represents more than just the next generation of fighter aircraft. It's a glimpse into the future of air warfare itself. The integration of manned and unmanned systems, the emphasis on long-range operations, and the focus on multi-domain warfare reflect how conflicts will be fought in the coming decades. Traditional dogfighting, while still important, takes a backseat to long-range engagement, electronic warfare, and coordinated multi-platform operations. The F-47 pilot will be less of a traditional fighter jockey and more of a battlefield quarterback, coordinating complex operations across vast distances. The aircraft's advanced manufacturing techniques also point toward the future of defense production. Digital engineering and advanced simulation allowed Boeing to validate their design before building physical prototypes, dramatically reducing development time and cost. This approach could revolutionize how military aircraft are developed and produced. The modular design philosophy means the F-47 can be continuously upgraded throughout its service life without requiring complete redesigns. New sensors, weapons, and electronic systems can be integrated as they become available, ensuring the aircraft remains at the cutting edge for decades. Perhaps most importantly, the F-47 program proves that American aerospace engineering and manufacturing remain the world's most advanced. Despite challenges from peer competitors, the United States continues to push the boundaries of what's possible in military aviation. Conclusion. The Boeing F-47 represents the dawn of a new era in air warfare. With its unprecedented range, revolutionary stealth capabilities, and ability to coordinate with unmanned wingmen, this aircraft will ensure American air superiority for generations to come. The 5 years of secret testing have proven the technology's work. The $20 billion investment shows America's commitment to maintaining its military edge. As we watch this program unfold over the coming years, we're witnessing history in the making. The F-47 isn't just replacing the F-22, it's defining what air power means in the 21st century. The brave men and women of the United States Air Force will soon have the most advanced fighter ever built at their disposal. That's something every American can be proud of. If you found this deep dive into America's most advanced fighter jet as fascinating as we did, show your support by hitting that like button and subscribing for more exclusive military aviation content. Drop a comment below with your thoughts on the F-47. We read every single one and love hearing from our military community. Until next time, keep your eyes on the skies. The future of American air power is looking brighter than ever.